In this video, I'm just going to be drilling, tapping, and counterboring using an end mill, the end of the hammerhead that I've done. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my edge finder and I'm going to touch here, move my 1.425, and then find the center of my hammerhead here. I have a video on how to use my edge finder here if you want that more in depth. Okay, so I'm coming in, I touch the face, I see it pop off. I set my 0 on my DRO, or I can also use my graduated dial on my handle here. But I'm going to count 100 thou for my edge finder. And then I'm going to move my 1.425 right here. So then I need to touch, so I can't really get a good diameter to touch on here, so I'm just going to touch the inside of my jaws here. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to touch, I'm going to hit my Y0, I'm going to touch, so I have 920 thou, so half of that would be my 470. I'm going to come here, so I have 470, so now I'm bang on center here. So I have my end mill in, and I'm going to have to bring up my knee so I can get an accurate measurement on my depth. So as soon as I start to see my full diameter cut, I'm going to zero out my DRO. And when I say zero out my DRO, you can also zero out your graduated dial as well. So the first operation I'm going to do, I'm going to center drill, then I'm going to drill, then I'm going to counter sink, and then I'm going to tap this. So I'm going to use the center drill, and I want to go about 2/3 of the way up the taper, and I'm going to run this at 1,000 RPM. All right, so I have that in low gear, and as you saw, that was spinning counterclockwise. So I'm going to go to high gear here. I'm going to slow down to my 1,000 RPM. I'm just going to feed down until I get 2/3 of the way up my taper here. I'm going to move all this crap out of the way. And I'm just going to do a little peck drilling. Okay, I don't want to push too hard on this. I want to come up, and that just clears my chips up. And again, I'm about 2/3 of the way up my taper here. So I have my center drill finished. So I have to drill my hole now. I have my drilled hole 422 or 27/64 here. And I need to mark out how deep my drill is going. So this is dimension from the drill point. So I'm going to do my, I believe it's about 982 thou. So I'm going to mark that off with my calipers, and I'm just going to mark it off right here. I could also use a piece of tape if I wanted to, or if I needed to get a precise hole depth, I could use my DRO. I can raise my knee up, or my graduated dial on my knee. So I'm going to switch this over and then do the drilling operation. So my drill here has 3 flats ground onto it, so that's what's going to be chucked onto when I get it in the vise. And I'm going to start drilling now. So it's gonna not sound the greatest as it's starting because the point of my drill is kind of chattering a little bit in that hole, but that's okay. It's gonna keep it on size. And I'm through it there. And I'm gonna do that pecking operation, and I'm also gonna grab some cutting oil that I have. And this is just going to help lubricate my drill. Put a little dab in here, then I'm just gonna keep going. I don't know if you can see it clearly on the video, but I can see that black line spinning. That's the depth I need to go to. Again, if I needed a precise depth on this, I would use my knee and I would have to feed it up. But since this isn't super critical, as long as I don't blow through the bottom end of this, it'll be okay. So I'm just gonna go. So there's a couple ways I can measure it. I could do the trig to figure out how far to feed it down if I had a very precise countersink diameter. But for here, I can just do this by eye. So I need to go, I don't know, about 25 thou more. And I can measure, and I'm on size here. So next, I'm going to do my tapping operation. So because I'm going to do a hand tapping operation, I'm going to use 2 taps here. So the first tap I'm going to use here is I have a tapered tap, then I have a bottoming tap here. The tapered tap helps me cut efficiently and helps me keep this on-centered. As you can see here, I don't really have a full tooth until I'm about, I don't know, about here. So all of this is just making it easier to cut, as well as helping me keep it on center. I'm also going to use a center drill with the tip in here to keep it on center as well. So I'm going to insert my center drill. You can also turn a piece of rod at a 45-degree angle. That would also work as well if you don't want to bust up your center drills. So I just have a tapping handle here. Again, we never want to tap anything dry, so I want to put a little bit of cutting oil or rapid tap in here. And what I'm going to do is I have this centered here. So if you look, I have a little bit of force down here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this by hand while keeping just a tiny bit of pressure on my quill here, just to keep it on center. Okay, so again, I want to do 1 full rotation, back it off, 1 full rotation, back it off. So 1 full rotation, back it off, and once it gets, started a little bit, I can just keep on just checking to make sure it's straight. I don't have to keep on the force down on it. So back it off. Full rotation, back it off. I want to be very, very mindful that I'm not breaking my tap, okay? So if I feel any resistance, I'm just gonna pull it out and I'm going to clean the chips off of it, okay? So I'm gonna take this down the rest of the way. So I have it threaded, my tapered tap threaded all the way down. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna use this bottoming tap and finish the threads all the way to the bottom. Now I shouldn't have to keep it on center here because this tap is just gonna follow the existing one and that was on center. So I just have to finish those remaining threads and I'm good there. So this is how I would tap this hole. All I would need to do then is deburr all of my edges, and then I can screw my hammer head into my hammer handle. That's all I have. Thanks for watching.